narrow or excrete in alleyways. Please comply with all local laws and customs.
You there. You could use a better weapon. I can fold steel, craft a flintlock, or make whatever exotic weapon you desire.
Step right up, friend. You've got all manner of weapons and gear.
Not so fast, Legionnaire. None shall pass this gate without the express authorization of the wise and beneficent Meisters of Stonebridge.
I'll speak to the Meisters then.
Be advised, the wise and beneficent Meisters are reluctant to spend time in the company of wastrels.
Free the Krug!
Free the Krug!
Free the Krug! Free the Krug!
Isn't it
Free
just
the
dreadful?
Krug!
Free
They've
the
locked up
Krug!
an innocent creature. This is an outrage.
You seem pretty upset about this.
If the Krug didn't do anything criminal, it has the same rights as a human or goblin. Humph! You can always judge a society by how it treats its downtrodden.
Have you thought the Krug might be safer behind bars?
My children would be safer if I locked them in the basement, but I wouldn't dream of doing that.
I should be going. Thanks for your time.
Carry on. Spread the word. Free the Krug.
Rejoice! The Meisters have concluded their session and the hall is now open to the rabble. Apologies. The preferred term is public.
Ah, half a minute there. You came from the chapter house, did you not? Tell me, is it true? Has the Legion returned?
Introductions first. Who are you?
Sigismund Wolf at your service. Meister of Stonebridge and First Constable for this calendar year.
Pleased to meet you. And yes, the Legion has returned to Stonebridge.
Ha! Let them laugh at me now! Meister Wolf, with his silly dreams of radiant children and prophecies of the Legion's return.
You had a dream of a golden-haired child? A boy?
Precisely so. Not a fortnight past. I dreamt that I saw a golden-haired boy standing at my bedside. He bade me get up and follow him.
You saw the Radiant Youth? Are you descended from the Legion?
Wish I were, but no. My father was a merchant, and his father as well. If I'd had any Legion blood, I dare say I'd have been killed with the rest of them 30 years back.
Are any Legionnaires still living in Stonebridge?
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid not. Jane and her mobs were quite thorough. That whole affair was a mark of shame upon our city. Be assured that I took no part in that travesty, nor did my father, or anyone else who bears the name Wolf.
I'm here to address the Meisters. We want to propose an alliance against Jane Cassinder.
An alliance? That'll be tricky business. I can force them to give you a hearing, at least. I'll warn you, though, they're scared. Scared of Jane Cassinder and her armies. Scared that we'll lose our republic if she takes the city by force. And scared of other things, too.
The Meisters are scared of something else. Something inside the city?
No, forget I spoke of it. The other Meisters will know you've been talking to mad old Wolf with his secrets and conspiracies, and that won't win you any friends on the council.
I'm ready to address the Meisters.
Capital! I shall go on ahead and announce you. We'll await you inside.
Isn't running a jail a bit complicated for an automaton?
I apologize, but I was not designed to answer questions of a remedial nature. I repeat, do you have business with the incarcerated?
Not at the moment. I should be going.
Wasting the time of Stonebridge constables is not presently a jailable offense. But this policy is subject to change without prior notice. Good day. Welcome to the Stonebridge Jail. Do you have business with the incarcerated?
Not at the moment. I should be going.
Wait.
Gentlemen and goblins, order! Council recognizes the envoy from the 10th Legion.
Meister Wolf tells us that you propose an alliance. A grave matter indeed. Perhaps our colleague forgot to emphasize how deeply we value our neutrality.
A war with Jane Cassinder would risk the very life of our republic. What do we gain by siding with the Legion?
The Royal Army is destroyed. It's only a matter of time before Jane Cassinder turns against you. Let us help protect your city.
You are alone. When facing a hungry wolf, it is better to have friends, yes?
A fair point. We are reasonable fellows, and we know that Jane Cassinder looks upon Stonebridge with covetous eyes. Nonetheless, you can understand why some in the city might fear the Legion's return.
Countless Legionnaires were murdered in our streets. People might think that you've come to seek revenge.
Forget the past. Those murders are 30 years gone. We came here to reconcile, not for revenge.
Words alone are unlikely to sway our good citizens. Perhaps if we form a committee, study the problem for several months or a year.
Nonsense! The Legion is no threat. There's far more dangerous things in this city, if you would only open your eyes.
Our colleague again speaks of the dapper old gent, no doubt.
Indeed, sir, I do. You think that the trouble in the foundry is not the work of the gent?
The gent? Who is he?
Our nemesis, our tormentor, his retribution in mortal guise.
Meister Wolf, let us not turn aside from the matter at hand. We owe the Legion our vote.
No, wait. That hardly seems fair. Force a vote now, and it will assuredly go against the Legion. I propose a recess. Let us each speak privately to the Legionnaires, so that we can reach an informed and impartial judgment.
Sounds like a reasonable idea. We agree.
Indeed, well spoken, Meister Mudgutter. Any objections? None? Council declares a recess. We shall reconvene after the Legion envoy has spoken to each of my esteemed colleagues, and all are prepared to render a judgment.
You'll have my vote. It's the others who will need convincing.
During the council meeting, you said something about the dapper old gent.
Understand, what I tell you now must be held in the strictest confidence. For a great many years, Stonebridge has been haunted by a most elusive villain. He appears out of thin air, wherever and whenever he likes. Confounds my constables at every turn. Even the automatons, mind you.
Does this man have a proper name?
Only a few witnesses have seen him, but they all say that he's exquisitely dressed, an elderly gentleman of quality. Someone started calling him the dapper old gent. The name stuck.
What crimes has he committed?
Theft, sabotage, wanton destruction of city property. Lately, his schemes have taken a sinister turn. Less thieving and more mayhem. Almost as if he hates Stonebridge and all its people. All the scoundrels of the city worship him. They serve him as eyes and ears.
You employ automatons as town constables?
Indeed. They're disciplined, tireless, and they follow orders without question. Far better than the lazy lugs that we used to employ. When I finally won the first constable's chair, I sacked a lot of them.
Enough about the gent for now.
Right. Something else you need?
Can you tell me anything about the other Meisters? Anything that might help me convince them?
Meister Grimmelhaus, the mayor, he'll vote with the majority. Always does. So it comes down to the other three. Castle, Mudgutter, and Fiddlewick.
Fiddlewick is an odd name. What's he like?
A soft-hearted little fellow, always arguing with Castle over some question of wages or social class. Fiddlewick is master of the college, so he has a permanent seat on the council. And he's a goblin, of course, hence the name.
Thanks. That's all I needed to know.
No trouble at all. Honored to be of service to the Legion.
We'll talk again later.
Capital. I'll look forward to it.
the envoy from the Legion. Is there something else you need?
You were elected to lead the city?
By a popular vote of almost 70%. Not counting the automatons, of course. Our mayor is elected from among the Meisters, the leading citizens of the town. It's a far better system than we used to have. We put an end to all that autocratic nonsense not long after the Old Kingdom collapsed. Our city has been a free republic for the past 30 years.
What can we do to win your vote? An alliance will benefit us both.
There's that word again. Alliance. You won't think ill of me, I hope, if I express a certain degree of concern. But I shall respect the wishes of the other Meisters. If you can convince my colleagues to take your side, I shall vote in your favor as well.
I won't take any more of your time. Good day.
Indeed, and a good day to you as well.
Yes. I was wondering when you'd come and harass me. No doubt you're here to solicit my vote for your organization.
You could at least offer me a proper introduction.
Oh, yes. Trivialities. I'm Lord Barrister Mudgutter, Director of the Office of Contracts and Patents, Chief Magistrate of Stonebridge. And I have some other random titles with capital letters. I think I'm technically the High Marshal of Top Fermenting Beverages.
Then I trust you're the goblin to talk to if I want the Meister's support.
One of them, yes. I think you'll find that Wolf is very much smitten with the romantic notion of the Legion. The rest of us need convincing.
How can the Legion earn your vote?
Well, you could help me alphabetize court documents, but a better use of your talents would be to help me with an investigation. Normally, I'd have Wolf handle the situation, but it happens to involve a sizable degree of danger, and Wolf is too important to risk.
If this is the price for your support, I accept. Just tell me what you need.
So, the matter at hand. We've had numerous reports of masked individuals hauling automatons into the crypts under the city. Whatever their aim, they are slowly eroding our defenses, and that is intolerable, especially with Jane Cascinder and her army on the loose. If someone was to enter the crypts and purge them of these criminals, I would owe that person a favor.
Have many of your automatons gone missing?
Only a few have gone missing. More troubling is that a few have returned looking like they were opened and studied.
You said that these crypts are underneath the city?
Indeed. Old records refer to them as the Crypts of the Sacred Blood, a vast network of tunnels extending from the farmlands in the south. With every passing generation, further tunnels are dug. No one has charted them all. The crypt in question is cut off from the rest, thanks to a tunnel collapse some years back, so you needn't fear getting lost.
Consider it done. We'll be back when we've dealt with these criminals.
Well then, if you keep your word, I shall do the same and cast my vote in support of the Legion. Good day.
Greetings, Legionnaire. If you've come to win my vote, don't bother. My mind is made up. Stonebridge will have no entangling alliances. So that's that. Now, if you need some little task to occupy your time, or if you have a question, perhaps I can be of service.
Are you sure there's nothing we can do to win your vote?
At the moment, no. But worry not. I'm sure the other Meisters will vote for you if you sate their self-interested needs. Now, I do have a task or two for you. It's not going to win over my vote, but I would find a way to repay your efforts. Long ago, the Legion served as the mediator of first and last resort. When an argument ran out of control, the Legion offered counsel.
Is the court system of Stonebridge inadequate?
For now, you will arbitrate civil matters that are beyond the purview of the courts. Mudgutter and his barristers will handle the criminals. Your first task is to handle a situation with a prisoner of ours, a Krug. He has no crimes charged against him, but his fate is disputed. Many argue he's safer in prison. Others want him free. He's here in the Meisterhall's jail. Make your inquiries there, then tell the automaton who presides over the jail what you've decided. It's hardly dragon slaying, but if you're true to the Legion, you'll have time for small matters. Go on now, I've got work to do.
Ah, so the Legion has come looking for my vote. These are perilous times. An entangling alliance is hardly prudent. But I forget my manners. I am Rorik Castle, City Meister and Factol of the Ironmongers.
In the council meeting, Wolf said something about the Foundry. Is that your responsibility?
Ah, yes. That is our responsibility. The Foundry is the wellspring of our city's prosperity. We keep the economy in motion, and we are the drumbeat of progress.
Well, clearly the gears of the world revolve around your little smithing club.
Without the Foundry, the city is powerless. No lights, no turning gears, no industry at all. And to tell the truth, we have a problem. Perhaps you noticed that the city's gears are not moving. It's the blasted Cyclopses. They were docile workers for years, but something in them snapped, and they've brought the Foundry to a standstill.
Why would they do this? Do you have any idea?
None at all. But I'm not involved in the day-to-day supervision of their work. Speak to my foreman, Mr. Snell, at the Foundry. He will explain our predicament in greater detail.
I'd like to speak to the Krug prisoner. Fiddlewick asked me to appraise the situation and determine the Krug's fate.
Very well. It is Meister Fiddlewick's prerogative to entrust such decisions to strangers rather than automated constables with decades of experience. Please note that the Krug has been imprisoned for its own safety. It is highly unpopular with citizens, especially those who own pitchforks.
Krr.
How did you wind up behind these bars?
Krr. Krr.
Are you being treated well?
Krr. Sorry about that. Seems the rattle in my lungs gets worse every year. You were asking about my treatment here? Just fine, thank you. The automated constable here, Krr, tends to my comestibles and keeps away the rabble.
You're pretty well spoken for a Krug.
A Krug? Krr. Yeah, I guess that's what people think I am. I'm human. Just some ill twist of fate made me hideous and homely.
People seem to think you're a Krug. Why haven't you said something and corrected the situation?
I'm tired of being harassed and assaulted. This time I decided I'd let them think I'm a monster and keep me locked up. Krr. I've thought about getting out of here, but I have nowhere to go. I'm content to just stay here and daydream.
I have to decide whether you stay or go free.
Krr. Well, I suppose I've committed no crime, unless being hideous is illegal. But if it's all the same to you, I'm safe here. Let them go on thinking I'm a Krug. It won't hurt my feelings. If you let me go, have someone escort me out of the city at least.
Welcome to the Stonebridge Jail. Do you have business with the incarcerated?
I've come to a decision on the Krug.
I will enact whatever outcome you deem appropriate. Please enunciate carefully.
Let the Krug go. He's done nothing illegal. The locals may try to hurt him, so he should be given an escort out of the city.
Very well. The Krug will be escorted to the city limits and set free. No automated constable could have formulated that solution. Thank you.
Grr. I wasn't certain that the Legion had truly returned, but after witnessing your resolution of the plight of the oppressed Krug proletariat, it caused a great imbalance in my sanguine humors. Fairly had me bursting with them. Now then, we have much to accomplish. Shall we get started?
What in the world are you talking about?
Oh my, do forgive me. I mistook you for a Collegium woman. I meant only that it made me proud, whilst at the same time risking distempers of the blood. Now then, much to do, much to do. Shall we be off?
What do you mean by we have much to do? Who exactly are you?
Yes, we. First person plural, in this case collective. I could lend you this excellent book on grammar. But wait, I'm forgetting my manners. I am Reinhard Manx, scholar, inventor, and sartorial adventurer. I have degrees in advanced thaumaturgical studies and non-Goblinian geometry. Naturally, I also have a grounding in the classics, but more importantly to you, I am descended from the Grand Mage Merrick, a legionnaire through and through. Well, needless to say, it's been my dream to reunite with other children of the 10th Legion. Second only to the dream of a thaumaturgical waistcoat that can change its color and cut to match the latest season's fashions.
How have you lived in Stonebridge all this time? I thought this town had a bad history with the Legion.
Had I trumpeted my lineage, we would have seen democracy in action. The ballot would have been whether I would be lynched or dissected, but still... I used to dream that the Legion would rise up from the ashes. But I also dream of square circles, so make of that what you will. The people of Stonebridge may have committed a terrible crime against the Legion, but I think it's time to forgive and rebuild.
Forgiveness is an old virtue of the Legion. I'd say your heart is in the right place.
In all my studies of time, I found that you can coil it, twist it, bend it, but it always unwinds the same way. Hatred can't undo the past, so why hold a grudge? Why bother defending Ebb if you can't accept that its people will make mistakes? And of course, forgiveness facilitates the open exchange of ideas. It's hard to have a symposium with a lynch mob.
We need everyone in the Legion to join forces. Are you with us?
Am I with you? Does the thaumaturgical constant Q trend towards infinity for given values of the human soul? The answer is yes, by the way. The Legion needs to stand together, lest we fade into memory. So without further ado, let's be off.
Thank you for resolving the matter of the Krug. Such a small issue, but it
Do you have another problem for me to mediate?
Yes, I do. Baron is a wealthy landowner with a claim to many parcels of land here in town. He wants to charge rent to Hans. Hans has an equally compelling claim to the plot of land. Mudgutter informs me it's a case of eminent domain versus original acquisition. With the court deadlocked, both have agreed to let you settle their dispute. I'll have them meet you at the chapter house.
Good on you to set that poor creature free. Let it roam the, wherever it is that Krug roam.
Please do not litter or excrete in alleyways. Please do not litter or excrete in alleyways.
They're here. I'm Hans. This is Baron. We have a disagreement, and we decided we'd abide by whatever decision you make.
Indeed. Years ago, the Legion settled disputes, and Hans and I have a conundrum that Stonebridge law can't resolve.
We have a moment to listen to your dispute. Since you're both willing to abide by the decision, we'll mediate as best we can.
I purchased a parcel of land 15 years ago, and have been selling my wares for ages. The Baron here tells me I owe him rent.
You see, I bought large tracts of land back in the days of the farmer. Hans was taken by a charlatan. I certainly didn't authorize the sale.
Yes, well, you did nothing to stand up for your claim to the land. After endless talk with the barristers, we are still deadlocked.
Baron, tell me more about your claim to the land.
By right of original acquisition, the law says the land is mine. I bought it first. Sure, it was human lifetimes ago, but first is first. I am an old goblin, so years pass like months for me. I didn't notice Hans had set up shop and claimed my land as is until recently. I think I'm being fair. He owes me rent for the last several years, and if he wants to stay, he needs to keep paying rent or he can leave.
Hans, can you explain why exactly you think your claim is stronger than the Baron's?
My purchase to the land was vetted and signed by the city of Stonebridge. They failed to research the land's original ownership. But even so, I can claim the right of eminent domain. I've used the land for over 10 years, with no argument from the original owner. I feel terrible that the Baron's land was sold out from under him, but he had ample time to correct this mistake.
I see. The laws are indeed at an impasse here, but I've come to a decision.
So what will it be? Is the land indeed mine, or does this human get to claim it?
The land wasn't Hans's to buy, but the Baron did nothing to protect his claim. You must divide the property or buy out the other's stake.
I guess that's about as fair a ruling as you could make. Also a coward's decision. But I said I'd honor it, so I will.
I can't fit my shop on half of that parcel. But I suppose I should be happy for anything. Thank you for taking the time to arbitrate this.
Oh, you are a clever one. Now they will work it out themselves. But still remember your arbitration is fair.
A deal is a deal. Hans, let's go figure out which half is yours and which is mine. Hopefully we don't need someone to arbitrate that.
human generation has gone by without the Legion here to settle disputes. At last, that tradition returns to Stonebridge. I know you have evil to smite, so it means a lot to me and to the city that you can take time for the little things. Here's a little something for your efforts. Now be careful out there.
We're going to the crypts of the Sacred Blood, at Maester Mudgutter's request.
I see. More soldiers of fortune to clean up the crypts of the Sacred Blood. I was instructed to let you pass. It must be very pleasant in the crypts. Everyone who has entered them decides to stay there permanently. Please comply with all local laws and customs.
Hello there, friends. Looking for anything in particular?
How is business on this side of town?
It's a living, but not by much. Can't turn my back for a minute or folks seem to wander off with my goods. But don't let my ranting and rambling ruin your day. Give a holler if you want something.
I built this automaton, and if you could do me a favor, I figure it'd be in everyone's best interest. Last thing I need is to have the Sweatcog brand name lose its immaculate reputation for safety.
Can't you just shut it off?
Oh, I thought of that. Problem is, I thought of that after I built the construct. So, the only off switch it's got involves smashing it.
What sort of name is Sweatcog?
Engineering is 10% innovation, 20% math, and 80% perspiration. Sweatcog is a proud name. Don't mock it.
We'll take care of it. Just tell us where it is.
Excellent. You'll find the automaton on the other side of town. Just try to deal with it before it causes too much trouble. If you stop it, come on back and I'll pay you for your efforts.
Ah, good. I thought I'd find you here. I heard the Legion was back in town and I've been scampering to get my old notes in order. You see, I've been archiving the history of the 10th Legion in Stonebridge. A sad history, to be sure, but my research can help you.
Go on. What kind of research do you mean?
I've studied the event of the local Legion's demise, the riots. I've kept track of many looters and killers that profited on that day. Some who looted the chapter house proudly displayed their ill-gotten gains, showing off stolen Legion property to house guests. Such arrogance. Well, I have kept track of these pompous criminals, especially the ones who insisted they'd be buried with their trophies.
You spent all this time investigating the Legion's rightful properties. We're in your debt. Where are these artifacts?
I, for one, respect what the Legion did for our kingdom. I'm just doing my part to honor their memory. I've assembled a list of graves that should contain stolen property. Problem is, the crypts have become too dangerous of late. Here, take my notes. Unless the thieves have started looting coffins at random, you should be able to recover the stolen items.